Okay, let's get started. So thank you all for coming along. I appreciate you taking the time to join live. This meeting is being recorded, so if anyone couldn't make it today, we'll have a recording on our YouTube channel. We can send out a link, and hopefully this will reach as many people as we can and try and assist everyone. So my name's Alex. I am the customer success consultant here at Prospect. It's my job to assist customers ensuring they're getting the most out of prospects through various channels such as CRM reviews, feedback analysis. Gives me a great opportunity to kind of get to know our users, understand their methods, their practices, and take away some ideas and help us enhance our product. So I've got a couple of slides to get us started, and then we'll go straight into the demo of creating quotes through Prospect. I'm going to get rid of my face so I'm not taking up a corner of the screen. And then we'll crack on. Okay, so a couple of icons to start us off. We're going to touch up on the difference between a quote and a sales order. We're going to have a look at building some quotes. We're going to focus on sending the quotes to your customers. And lastly, confirming orders into your ERP system. So I'm going to take us over to our demo system. And what we have here is a fictional company called That's My Jam. It sells jam jars and flavored jams and jam making equipment, just to kind of set the stage a little bit here. We're going to focus on the customers within here, starting with quotes and sales orders. So I'm going to go find a customer. I'm going to use the customer trend report here and look at Mary Berry, who is one of the customers who are growing within our customer base. And then from there, I'm going to go find a contact. Go. So there's a few differences between a quote and a sales order, and a few scenarios in which they would both apply. So a sales order could typically be for an existing customer. They may call or email about products that they've recently purchased. They might know you guys kind of on a professional level anyway. They are a regular supplier, that sort of thing. In which case, what we're doing is adding a few lines to an order and then confirming that straight away. So sales order interface is very simple. It's just a name, currency, some price tiers and tax. And all we would do for a sales order, while Mary may be on the phone, is throw on some order lines, say thank you, and then hit confirm, and that goes across. Okay, so we're not going to focus too much on that. We're here to focus on the quotes, and we'll go through everything in detail. So a scenario where a quote would be kind of preference over a sales order is if perhaps it's a new prospective customer, someone inquiring about the items you sell, asking about pricing, delivery schedules, quantity available, in which case the quote functionality offers you the ability to send this information to the customer, as well as providing your salesperson the tools they need to follow up on the quotes in an attempt to obviously convert it to an order. So when making a quote, then there's a few more fields in here. So we've got a description. We're going to say it's for blueberry jam. And as we scroll down, there's a few more fields again. So we've got a salesperson, the currency, some pipeline information, the sales price tier. So just to touch on that, for those who don't understand what a sales price tier is, this system is actually connected to Unleashed. And sales price tier is an Unleashed, basically their special pricing. It's how they manage some of their special pricing. I'm going to set one of those. And then we have a source as well. So should you use marketing through Prospect, we do have kind of MailChimp integration, which links up to our campaigns. If this person responded to an email you'd recently sent out about launching new jam. You've sent the email out, they've replied saying, brilliant, can I have some? You can actually link this up so you can kind of get a measure of response of that campaign investment. Okay, so we're going to make our quote, and then we'll obviously, once we've got our quote, we need to get some lines on there. And there's a few ways of doing this. So I'm going to set a task to begin with. Okay. Set task, send quote. Brilliant. So adding some lines then. So simplest way of adding a line is to simply search for a product in here. So you can put in an SKU or part of the description, and you'll start returning associated products. Before I give that a search, I just want to point out this list here is the most frequently ordered items. So this is items that you sell quite regularly across your customer base that quite often end up on your quotes. So you get that kind of short insight there. I'm going to look for the word blue. We're going to focus on blueberry jam. So if I search for blue, I've got blissful blueberry jam. So if I click that, it adds one single line with a quantity of 1 to our quote and brings in the default pricing. If it's a quote where they have perhaps sent through an email with many products, it might be simpler to actually use the multi-line entry. So the multi-line entry is when you hit this emboldened search item here. And we actually get a couple of things within this list. So you can search again, search for blue, going to get back any product relating to blueberries, blueberry jam, and we're going to have a look and add multiple lines at once. So you can click on the quantity and add 1. As you scroll down, you can click on more, or you can use the tab button on your keyboard and tab through the price and the discount like so. And then we'll have 10 of those and click down, and we'll have 5 of those. And then we can add these to our quote. I'm going to click add and close just to show you them all going on there. And we also have, just back to that multi-line entry, this option up here to show you their recently purchased items. Gives you a little bit of a breakdown of sales history, shows you kind of the price they've purchased things at, the quantity you have available when they've made a purchase of that product. So some fruit syrup there. And again, we have a popular list of products, which are just items you sell quite a lot of. So I'm going to click out of that. So now we've got some lines on here. There's a few more fields we can fill out. This is configurable as well, so you can add more items or more columns in this report if you'd like to see more information about margins and markups and cost prices. So what we're going to do is just change the quantity of this. I'm going to double that up to, say, 20. That's obviously then going to go and change the price. And then as they're buying so many, you may say, we're going to do a discount for you for buying 20, and we're going to throw in a discount of 10%. That again goes and changes the price, which changes the subtotal there. We have some more information as we click into this pencil. The little edit icon gives you a little bit more information about this specific quote line. So we have in here the price, some cost price information, margins. As you scroll down, you get a bit of availability with stock, as well as stock by warehouse. We could see kind of which warehouse contains how many of this product. Recent purchase history, and then some advanced product information as well. So the extended description and some tax information and such. Okay, so now we've added all this in. Pretty happy with the quote. This is what Mary's been on the phone and asked for. We need to send this quote to our customer. There's a few ways of doing this. We're going to focus largely on our document and email templates. So we can send email templates. We can send Word templates or Word templates in a PDF format, or a combination of both. And I'm going to go through all those now. So the reason we recommend templates, a couple of things: they are brand consistent. If you know your sales team are using one template or a magnitude of templates which are branded correctly, then it senses out that kind of real professionalism. And they're also fast because we can take advantage of search and replace or merge fields. So we can bring in customer's name and address and details, your role, your telephone number, and merge all that into the document automatically. So you guys don't have to type it all up each time. So I'll show you that in action. We're going to start with our email template. So we've got some listed templates here, and we've got quote email. So what this has done is it's gone and grabbed all of the information from our quote record, merging it into an email for this customer and bringing in that necessary information. So it's gone, dear Mary, here's some items part of our template. We've added in the product, including the discount, the values, and a total. And then I've added in name and email address at the bottom there. We can then send this to the customer. This is then stored not only at the quote level, but you can see this information from the contact level as well. If I go into document, you just get a little bit of a history on what's going on. If quoting's not particularly for you and you prefer kind of a more formal quote template, then you can look at doing something like PDF. So if I go and create a document, little plus icon up here, create a document and use a template. We're going to use a simple quote document. Get a little preview there of what it looks like. I'm going to hit create. That goes, and again, this is full of merge fields, so it's going to bring across the customer's address and their name and other information that you've chose, as well as the information from this quote. This again is stored over here. So if you go down to kind of this is the customer that Mary is underneath, Mary Berry Limited. You then get your documents in here, get a kind of overview on what's going on there. So if I go back to our quotes, we've got this quote now that has opened here. So doing it this way and generating this template allows you to go and add some notes on here. Maybe you can change the address if it's incorrect for whatever reason, and go and add any information you see fit. Add in there, thank you. Save that. That saves back to the CRM. We can close out of that. So there's a couple of ways of sending that out. Again, I'm going to go to Mary's email. I can add an attachment here. You can browse your computer, but this is an existing document that we've just made. So we've got a simple quote document there. You can attach it like so, which will attach this as a Word document or attach it as a PDF. You can then go and type out your emails. You type out something in here, throw in a subject and type out your message, or combine this with a template. So you can throw in a template you've got with pre-populated information again, saying, hello, customer, thank you for your inquiry. Here's your attached quote. Okay. The other option is we can actually have some templates which will automatically do the document generation process for you. So if I go back into Mary Berry there, the email cover for PDF quotes actually generates the PDF when sending the email. So it automatically attaches as a PDF. And the only slight difference is it doesn't give you the option to go and change this. So you can't add any notes on here because it is just automatically attaching as a PDF. And we've got a pre-typed message, dear Mary, thank you for your inquiry. Again, merging that data in. And then we've got some exception and rejection links, which I'll show you in just a second. So I'm going to send that. That's then taking just a second while it generates that PDF, goes and does all the merge fields into Word and converts and basically does the step that we did. And again, if I refresh this, you get email tracking at company level. Okay, so that's been sent. And go back to the documents here, give this a refresh. That's the one we've just sent. And I just wanted to show you these approve and decline buttons. So these give your customer kind of this little option on the quote email once they've read the PDF to actually accept or decline that offer or that quote. So just to give you a little idea of what this looks like, I'm going to click approve there. This opens up another little window and just asks for some very information. Obviously, they can decline as well. You can approve the order, give you a little bit of a snapshot. The order value is this. You can put in a PO reference here and then hit approve, and that notifies the sales team that they would like to progress. I'm going to close that out of the way. So back to our quote then. I'm going to update our status to awaiting purchase order, or to quote even. We've sent that quote, and now we're awaiting the customer to come back to us. So it's important to note at this point as well, some of your quoting might not have this pipeline at the top. That's fine. This is a configurable option to add in. You can simplify the quotes and not have this if you would rather. So next step then is hopefully the customers received that PDF, they've read it, they've hit approve or called you up and said, perfect, yeah, it's great, we'll progress with this, please. They might provide you a purchase order reference, which you can just throw into the customer order reference here. If they have their own ordering number system, and then we're going to confirm this order. I'm going to hit confirm there. This enters the status of waiting to be confirmed. There we go. And depending on your account system will depend on how long this takes. It's typically a few seconds. So Unleashed is the system we're integrated to here. And again, this takes typically just a few seconds. It's probably already finished since I've been waffling. There we go. You then get an order number back from Unleashed, as well as the option to go and view this product in Unleashed or this order in Unleashed. In your inventory system, you can then go and do your picking, shipping, and invoice this order and obviously make a bit of money. This data is then synced back to Prospect. So this is how we get to our dashboards and such. Our dashboards take sales history from your ERP system, from your accounts, and populate these lovely RFM data tables, as well as a host of other reports. So once you've confirmed this order, then it may be nice, it's completely up to you to maybe send one more email template just to confirm this order. So we have a simple order confirmation saying, dear Mary, thank you for your order. Here's the order number we've got from Unleashed, as well as the quote numbers as well. Any further information, just give us a shout, sort of thing. So just a nice order confirmation email. Some scenarios we haven't covered yet. If this was an existing customer, so they already had an Unleashed account, and you can see the sales ledger name here already exists. If this was a prospective customer and perhaps they don't have an account or a sales ledger in your inventory management system, then we have the option to create one. You can create it from the quote as you're going through this process, or you can make one from the company as well. So if I click back to this company, we've got Unleashed account customer here. That's the account we're currently using, but you can create a new one. Won't spend too much time on this, but you get a bit of an insight as to kind of the customer type, salesperson who's going to be looking after the account, some information about who they are as a business, an address, and then you can hit create. What we do in this instant is actually pass across to your account system your order that we've just made and the new account all in one little parcel. The account system gets that, they make the new company and the order, so everything's ready to be shipped. This is one of the kind of bigger selling points, I think, just because it allows you to keep quotes that maybe don't flourish into orders out of your account system. So if you've got a conversion rate of 50% or something like that, it means you could potentially keep hundreds, if not thousands, of these quotes that don't go to an order out of your account system and leave them in prospects, or keep prospects in Prospect. So the next step then, if I go back to our quotes, is we also have the option just to take card payments. We can connect up to Stripe and take those orders, take payments for these orders should you wish as well. Okay, so back to our presentation. On that one. Okay, so we have some options for reporting in here as well. So we have a couple of standard reports. I'll show you those in a second. The report builder itself, once the order is complete or during the quoting process, there are plenty of reports that can be built or tailored to show you information about specific quotes or maybe across the general quote records as well, and kind of give an overview of the month. Plenty of flexibility within the report builder. We can give you an idea on which quotes to follow up next, in terms of maybe when it was created. If it's outstanding more than a month, they can be chased. Give you an idea on margins and profit values, summarize and break down and kind of group those quotes up as well by various different factors and fields within prospects, flexible dates, and obviously numerous filters as well. So I thought I'd just show you them instead of sat here waffling. Let me go into our reports and I'll show you a couple that I've made. So we have a few on the dashboard as well. Discard that. Thank you. So we've got our orders report here. This shows you how much you've made this month versus last month. You can click into that and kind of get a bit of an insight there as to what's going on with your orders. And then we have a 12-month order pattern as well, just giving you that kind of annual snapshot, as it were. You can also then come to sales on the left-hand side, and we've got a report section here. There are a few standard reports that you might like. So we've got kind of who's purchased this but not this, in terms of X but not Y. So popular reports. I've actually made a report and favorited this just to kind of show you what we can do here, just as a rough example. So what I've actually made here, this is a quick 5-minute report that shows you the company name, an ID of the quote, as well as the description. So there's our blueberry jam from 5 minutes ago, and it shows you the base value excluding tax, as well as your margin values. What I've got there at the top is actually summarizing these fields. So over the entire order base, every quote we've got in this system, the average margin is 52%, and the average value of the quotes is £5,286.62. You can also report on a host of other things. So you can look in fields for like cost price, markup values, and filter by delivery location, group by order date, sort by customer type. They can all be kind of grouped and filtered, as well as a host of other things which I haven't mentioned, just kind of whichever will work best for you. So if I go back to our presentation now, got a bit of a Q&A, so I can see a couple of questions coming in, but just before we get to that, I thought I'd just summarize again. So we've touched up on sales orders versus quotes. We've made a quote, used multiple pieces of our functionality to add products to our quotes, used a combination of document templates and emails to deliver a nice branded quote to our customer, and finally confirmed this to an order for our inventory management system, ready for picking, ready for shipping, and ready for invoicing. So I've had a couple of questions come through. I'm going to go through these now. So let's have a quick look. If we have confirmed the order, can we still take Stripe payments at a later date, as customers will not bill until the goods are delivered? Yes, that's an option. I don't believe there's anything stopping you from taking a Stripe payment at a later date. I will double check that though and just come back to you. We also have another question here. When generating quotes by email, how do you add those accept or decline links to your documents? So we actually have, I can probably just show you this now. So on our docs portal, we actually have a document showing you how to add these in. So we've authorization buttons. They are quite a new piece of functionality. This guide just goes through, shows you how to add them. I won't cover it here because it will take a bit of time, but there's a nice guide. I will send that across to you as well, Chris, just so you've got this after the webinar. And this will just show you how to add those in. And then next question, what have we got there? Do I have to make a quote under a contact? No, not at all. You don't have to make a quote. You still have the options at company level to go and make a quote or a sales order. I would personally recommend having that contact in there. It helps with rapport building, kind of having a name to the order, having that better relationship generally leads to repeat business. And, that's ultimately what we want. And then last question as well. So can we group quotes by different categories? So yes, that's another piece of functionality I haven't covered, and I'll explain why in a second. So we have the ability to actually group quote lines. So in our scenario here, we could have grouped all of our jams and then grouped all of our jars under different kind of headings. You can then have subtotals for them. And this also displays nicely on a document as well. You can almost have like two tables, one for your jam jars and one for your actual jams. The reason I haven't covered it is it's actually coming up in our next webinar. So next week, my colleague Patrick is covering our extended quoting via Prospect CRM. There's a host of functionality which I haven't covered, which Patrick will go into in more detail, which includes adding new products that don't exist in your account system, so brand new items, upsell functionality, the quote grouping, among a host of other things, and it will probably expand more on the quotes or order buttons for that accept and reject items as well. That's it from me. I'm hoping I haven't taken up too much of your time. As I mentioned, this will all be recorded and sent over to our YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. If you do have any questions, anything that I haven't covered, please let us know, get in touch, and we'll be happy to help. Thank you all very much for coming along.